there's so much good esports. It's time to get into Miramar, another good game. Sims and Pansy,
Hi.
bring us the plane.
Tell me, and yeah, we are right back into it. We are going to be starting off towards the northwest this time, and heading down towards the southeastern RV. Boots on the ground nice and quick, but good little shake up towards the top there, Rich. I think there was a reason we were curious about some of the choices to potentially feed Northern Lights earlier on, and for a very good reason. It's kind of boosted them into an incredibly strong position.
顔面クイズが待ち遠しい。
It most certainly has, and it always really it blows my mind when you look at how these players read these circles and understand where they're going to be going and the tendencies of how things work and how much time and effort they truly put into this game to get out of it. We think about Northern Lights push at the very start, and I kind of question it. Says, you know what, this area, it's a really solid area. We have a lot of endings here. I'm questioning why he's pushing the lip of the crater and letting the likes of TSM and Liquid get behind them now for good position. Boom. Circle updates, and the Northern Lights are the first one in there. Everyone else follows boot. We see Liquid, FaZe Clan,
クラウド9はなくなったし、この俺が今見てる地域じゃそもそもない。
Oh, that circle, that is a ton of water in for a first one.
島になんねえかな。
It's also polarizing to the last circle, right?
It is complete. If we get that eastern shift, Lauren, that's an island circle instantly. Takes a lot to get it, but we had the Znaki yesterday.
まあ大体この辺になるイメージだけど。
I'm thinking it for you.
The one thing this does open up, obviously, in the last game, we had someone like Omicron and Ents having an incredibly hard route to get to the circle, pretty far out. This plays them right back into it. They actually have a really good shot of this, and Ents traditionally do have their compound. I think it's where, who is that? Rustamar, maybe? I think that's one of the compounds they generally sit towards, and it's a very strong one. Look at the open field around it, very hard to crash. We'll see how they play this in Omicron.
めちゃめちゃ薄いけど。
Going to be in the forefront of our minds going forward as to how they approach this team Liquid again, and this is a thing, right? I love the fact that literally you had Liquid, FaZe, and Northern Lights all in the same area, having the same
大会でなってることあるんじゃないかな。あれどこだったかな。どこのリージョンだったかな。一回あったと思うよ確か。
big opportunity for them, and the same for Ents. So obviously second and fourth is not much between them here, and obviously
公式大会で俺が見たので一回は確実にあったと思う。
It does come down to the kill difference, but I mean there's very little between first and second in this, let alone first and how far are we going to go down here? We gonna how low do you want to cut this off at the moment?
Oh, I still want to say, I still think it's even harder. You say 100 points and you've already got Blaze at 99 behind them. Let's keep going with the top half of the table for now. Let's see how many more decide that they want to overtake and get up there. We'll stick with the top half of the table and just say 8th and above. That's kind of your red zone where you want to be.
Why
above.
do you hate Navi?
I don't hate Navi. I actually believe in Navi, to be honest with you. Saying that, I believed in FaZe when I give them my pick'em the other day, but you know what? Look at how that's doing at the moment. So points first game is upsetting to say the least. But you know what? It is one of those things.
普通のみんながやってるノラとはパルスの設定が違うから大会の方がなりづらい。
This is a little brazen, isn't it? I mean, at this point, I guess they want really central area, but yeah, I don't think they care, which is the thing, right? And they were the ones who kind of cut off FaZe previously. FaZe, I think they lost. I don't know if it was 2 or 1. I think they lost 2 initially when Game Frame had to get that fight with them. So yeah, it scares me when a team's so willing to do it. Obviously, Ents are fine. They haven't lost a player here, but it's going to put them on notice. And I wonder how much time Ents may have lost out on here. I wonder if that was the position they wanted. They could have opted for that. Omicron have already
メリルはリコイル変わったし M4 のナフも相まってって感じか
being that threat, being that kind of wild card element is going to be very, very frustrating for these teams. If they work out who it is, I mean, I wouldn't go near them with a barge pole. I'd want to avoid that team at all costs. They're the ones who literally have nothing to lose. They'll just straight up, push you. So, again, for Ents, got to be careful about that. Of course, just after losing first place to Northern Lights, you definitely do not want to be losing out early on. But here we go. More teams coming nearby. Ticksuit Going to be catching a little bit of a glimpse, as would Diggory, towards Liquid heading past, but no harm, no foul. Liquid just going to carry on forward. I wonder where their end goal is here. A lot of these compounds
バス3台
are
なの
already
マジウケんだけど
occupied in the party van as ever. It is
あー
and, oh,
これは
okay, pulling up towards game frame.
Yep.
The one
ちょっと待って
you
UMP
don't-
なんだけど
I mean, you do because they're in last place for a reason, but also they're just dangerous. They'll commit for a flush and
なぜか知らないけど
they're very scary to
成り
fight.
立ってしまった
Body beetle has been found quite cleanly. Tico though could potentially punish Liquid here. It looks like they weren't aware, but now they are. Liquid? Mexi, are you okay? Mexi? Mexi?
あー Maxi
Don't do that. Mexi, don't do that. Don't do that.
There's
Now
two
James has
sides
been
to this.
knocked. Oh lord. What are the two
Two
sides?
sides to this one, isn't there, Lauren? It's
リキッドに甘く
without
リキッドに
PM,
厳しい
they
女
can- they
パンシ
play it like a public match, which messes it up for everyone else because you've no idea what they're going to do and they just don't care and they can be really, really stupid and crack just instantly hit you and hit you where it hurts. To be fair, take away a few players even by removing Uber from the latter round early on. It does so much knock-on effect damage. And then the other side to it is that like you
彼
say,
女かなリキッドの
if
彼
a
女
team
かな
pushes into and realize who it is, it could be an easy frag if they're playing in that manner. It's like, okay, it's them, just push them and we'll kill them. It's not a problem. It's some easy points altogether. So it kind of messes it up for everybody. But when you're down in that placement as well, and all you've got is playing for pride and to try and get out of last place, you don't give a damn. You're going to do whatever the hell you want. We'll see how much of a bigger impact it has during this lobby. I mean, hell, it's already screwed FaZe over if you want to say it to that extent. Liquid will be slowed down. They will have them across the road. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. It's definitely a standout because when you look towards Unity,
なんか来たか
there is some. Oh my god!
Oh!
Oh my word! Hell scream!
落ち着いて
What in God's name was that?
回復していいよ
17 HP and he's still trying it. He's still going for it. Got to get out real quick though. Has to hit the reload, and you can see Yaman getting very close by. Hellscream gonna get time for a heal. Maybe gonna punish some more. The
いや
Penguin
つえ
picking up on this, and Page just found Techers. So again, game frame not out of problems yet, but Hellscream's in problems of his own. He's done wonderfully, but couldn't confirm.
クンクンファン
Of course, as WP still gonna be standing, but the timing, good catch from him to get Nixties just with a nade in hand, but again, running out of cover to use here.
Oh.
Still spot teaming, but this time round the overpeak's there on the back. Oh, Tempest
Yeah.
FaZe Clan. Okay, initial grenade comes down, so Gustav is definitely aware, and the rest of the team will be also. Where's the fourth player though? Where's the fourth man for FaZe Clan? I think he's at distance. He is.
FaZe
Full
Sunday
space
ですか
from range onto clip. He's overwatching all of this on the cliffside, Lauren. He can now feed this information back. Tempest have disconnected. They've gone for the main hangar behind all
フェイ
of
ズ
this.
サンデーってなんで言われ始めた
And
の
this
あれ
leaves it down to Tommel with the AK
とりあえずみんな言ってるから言ってる感あるんだけど
Test of time on
あれ
his
発端何
own. Wraps down low.
TSM might see this.
Does he try and do something that's just bail? Like, this looks like a hard bail to me, to be honest.
Probably the best idea. I mean, the problem for Tomil is, and obviously he doesn't know this, he's got TSM on one side, so if he
なんか
peeks
パ
up
フェ
on
の
his
名
red
前
team,
とかであり
he's
そう
gonna get
カフェ
further
の
spotted. If he goes
フェイ
too
ズ
far
サン
ahead,
デー
obviously you've got Ents right there, and they're going to be considering this. They'll be having someone watch this way just because there's been so many shots up here, but Tomil going to have to go into Lone Ranger survival mode. You see TSM phase, Ents and Tempest just splitting that road that runs down. And yeah, okay,
残念
so we're sticking up towards Impala. This kind of plays in the vast majority of what the
ウ
lobby
ン
is
スどうすっか
expecting.
な
No one's too
悩
surprised.
ましいね
This is why that Ents compound can become incredibly strong. You can see where Squeaky is, but they still have a kind of
今
a 3-1
3-1
split, I guess.
結構極端だな
Squeaky there, so a lot of pressure on Squeaky to keep control of that. FaZe, comfy, TSM comfy. I don't think we're going to see too many changes. Maybe teams in the south might try and get a little bit closer, but for now, just because the way the water runs as well, there is that kind of middle portion that it will eventually have to move away from.
Everyone begins to condense towards the middle. I was watching Liquid's transition. I just started getting flashbacks of everyone going towards the oil cylinders, the huge tanker drums just outside of Impala. They're still empty and free and available for now.
結構前から言われてるよね
And
フェイズサ
saying
ンデー
that, if anyone wants to go really ballsy, so is the petrol station across the road from Team Liquid. Someone can take a
TGC より
residency
前
down
だった
and
気
just
す
go
る
for a full-blown push.
Yeah, good luck getting there.
Situate yourself in there. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's easier said than
だっ
done
て
getting into it, but
PGC
it
の時の
is
フェー
a
ズサン
last-ditch
デー
attempt,
の
and it could accidentally go correct if
試
someone
合が
gets
始まる
caught.
前のタイミングで俺フェーズ
Almost
サン
going
デ
for
ーっ
the
てツイー
safety
トした
net.
気するわ。
And that's because his teammates are just off in the distance away from him. Pixel and Wookie on screen, chilling inside the compounds, waiting out Omicron, who will be
ピエラ金
wandering
曜土曜
through
日
here
曜って
shortly.
日曜だけ非常に
It
強かっ
does
た。あ
be unfavorable to them. You can see in the distance there.
国内リーグの
Both
話だった
Tornado
わ。
Energy and the Northern Lights on transition. I don't actually have Tornado Energy.
あれちょっともうテンポ早すぎて何試合目かわかんないんだけど、これ3試合目だっ
Down
け？
below, the blue is up against them, so we'd have to assume the more along that coastal road,
に？
skirting outside Puerto Paraiso. Well, the
に
lights
か。
might actually move, to be fair, towards that road to try and catch somebody on transition, as we have seen before. You know, stupid as stupid does. Some people just drive up the road and think it's going to be a simple, clean entry and then get caught off guard. But then again, it is, with some of the vehicles, it is easier to set the road than it is those darker hillsides that can be a pain in the arse.
Sure. Let's talk about the circle though, Rich, because I'm wondering why. Well, I know why, but there isn't much cover towards the northwest side of this. But you've got to imagine between water, Los
もうおじいちゃん
Leones,
だから勘弁してくれ。
and the circle size, surely it's going to hit somewhere between Blaze, Ents, TSM, and Na'Vi. I mean, I'm surprised so many teams are locked to the south here. I know we have seen endings down there, of course, but I feel like the way the water works, surely it would move up north here.
The thing is that within that area you have the lower side of, I think it's Impala. In fact, you can actually see it just where Impala is. Look to the left and then straight up. Where WP is, you've got like a
なんかおまかもえぐいスプリットして
It's
ね。
not really a cliff, it's just a rock that
なこれ。
struts out from the ground, inaccessible terrain. And that does sometimes, there are a few of them dotted around there that plays a factor and kind of pinballs it down towards the south. It would take, and again, we could still get that area because we don't have
It could all
the land
potentially
bridge
happen,
into
of
number
course.
4. Yeah, it's
But,
all
you know,
if,
it's just more
buts,
the
whens.
theory of it, right? I'm quite surprised.
なんか救い気許されてんだけど、一人スプリット。 さすがに次は合流すると思うけどな。南に寄るか北に寄るかで。このまま寄ったら南、うわーむずい。北に寄るかな。これ悩むね。まあでも北に寄っていいんじゃねえかな、エンス。スクイキーの方に。それまでフェーズが許してくれればだけどな。なんかもたもたしてたからこれ先に行かれるんじゃないか。あ、TSM 来ちゃった。なんかタラタラしてたよね今、エンス。何してたんやろ。4 players already in the compound. He's holding it down. He's waiting for Tixu and the gang to arrive, and he needs help and fast. Na'Vi are firing into the いいだろう、私は許そう。だが TS この TSM が許すかな。They
have. Is it a little bit too late though with the opener on this? Do they make any advancement?
このトミーガンが許すかな。
Utility. What's in the tank when it comes to the
いやー遅いでしょエンス集まんの。だってもう車乗ってたのに車乗ってから10秒ぐらいもたもたしてたで。南が車乗ってスクイーキーが車に乗ってない時点で北に寄るのまあほぼほぼ決まってただろうに。なんかふわふわしとったわ。おかげでエンスの方が不利な形になっちゃったよ。
Oh no, we have to
oh!
hold on. Tornado Energy.
Oh!
Okay, top of the table at the moment, kicking the living hell out of one another. Batulins is in a bush. He ain't doing anything. He is scared. He is sitting down saying, I'm sorry, boys. That's all you. I've pulled off 1 versus 3s and 1 versus 4s before, but this time it's a bridge too far. Play for placement, sit the hell down, and honestly shut the hell up. Now, not important. Oh, there we go. Literally going to feed off the back of this one.
人数少ねえのいいな。フェーズいい。すごくいい。うまいな。
Does the damage, puts one out for Blaze. This gives an entry point. There is a response. Gustav goes down. Oh no, no. The second one force falls himself.
Uber
is away from the rest. Do they realize this?
Hi, man.
That's fantastic work, Uber. You've got to make sure both of these goes down.
Oh!
He's run out of ammunition. It's Aitse.
It's Rip 9. 1 versus 1 scenario. Who comes out on top? This is deadly. You'd assume been so disconnected from everybody
Let's go,
else.
Ricky.
Liquid's actually pushing into this. They want part of the action. The nades are already in hand. Ibby's already tanked up. He has to be put down for a second. Heeman again. WP. Been a prominent force within this fight in a third party. Knocking players out at distance is so deadly. Jimbo's upstairs. Aitzi's got a... Is that a molly? Can he try and bank it off and try and go around the stairwell? Or at least
立て直しタイムだな。
This is madness. This is chaotic.
So look at this compound and cut it down the middle. Fuzzface is the point man for FaZe. You've still got Blaze pushed out to the other side. So FaZe have more issues in that fact that they have a team on their back as well. So they can be encouraged to
ここ
push
縦に
forward.
詰めづらいんだよな。お、レッドラインがいいショット
But
ぞ
where do you wanna go? The team of 4 or the team
今
of
初めて
potentially
ここ
2
が
or
空いたことに
3?
気づいた。
So FaZe need to make a choice, and there goes Batulins. Went for a dip, not a nice one either. Fuzzface is right next to him. I love to see his perspective rather than the overview here. RTS games not my favorite. I like a good FPS. Here it is, 8C having a little bit of a go, spraying in. It's going to be this kind of awkward standoff. There's nothing pretty about these fights. There's no clean way to win this. And obviously, anyone in this fight knows that. They know it's going to be a rough one, whichever way you want to cut it. 8C trying to maybe turn attention a little bit towards Blaze to try and alleviate that pressure off the back.
ファズオリアン。あら
They
ら
have
ら
a
ら
good。compound to look at this from, and now Fuzzface going down towards K-Mine's nade has made this almost easier for Blaze to sit back and watch as this all unravels.
見逃されてるギリギリ。
He's still staring towards that last Blaze player. Rip's done really well to get Apocalypse back on his feet.
なんかファズフェイスがだんだんエレンに見えてきた。外に出ちゃダメって言ったでしょ。どうしてお母さんの言うことが聞けないの。
A little bit too far, might have been banked off the building to be fair. He sits down and
just so you know.
Oh, I'm just noticing.
おお、強いエバス。
So they both got to move.
Yeah.
ツータップオニーやんだ。
To be fair, I can't remember which team it was on top of this hill, but you got the little shacks you can play off of and a couple
で
of
も
rocks.
フェイズ死んだから。
Liquid sweeping. They are. Aitzi's down. Continue the push. You got to get players out of here, Lauren.
Well, thank God it's not me doing it. I'd much rather it be Liquid, but they're going to try and make
これ
a
リキッ
play
ド
for
来る
it.
でしょ。
Rip is already knocked though, and you can see Liquid are chomping at
ああ、
the
で
bit
も
to
そう
get
か、
into this,
右
but
奥の
they
可
don't
能
have
性も
full
感じてるの
information.
か。
Mexi on the push. He was the one who found the remaining player. Uh-oh.
Ah!
What? What the hell has just happened? Oh, Liquid, did you just whiff this? I am beyond.
ああ
Oh,
Oh! No! パーリ
3 players in less than... What?
まここはここでまだお見合いしてた。
To take their time on that. Surely they didn't have to rush it that much.
What?
Maybe there wasn't, but I thought between all of FaZe's bodies
いやちょっと
there,
他の車線エグすぎたね。
their own, then maybe they'd have had some a nade, a molly, something to clear out those corners with, but just oh god damn. I mean the chances that they came in, but it was so slow.
めちゃめちゃショック受けてるやん。
Let's take a second to look at this and how this has gone down. Liquid do stay alive with just Ibby, but they have great positioning. Diggory's been flushed by the molly. TSM and Ents in this very locked out battle.
God
Compound. From what I
damn.
remember, TSM had much better territory in here than Ents, but still Ents, hey, they can be pretty cold in these scenarios. So let's see if they can maybe hold on to this any further. Miraku up top. How has he not been spotted up here? That's a miracle of its own.
ガッテムまで出ちゃったらもう終わりよ。
The smoke's down. They'll just kind of wait each other
言っ
out.
てたからな今パンシーお姉さん。
Closed.
God damn.
Feed this information back
超
to
の
the
よも
rest of TSM to maybe wrap, but you've got to find that player that is outside the circle of day
う。エンス嫌な感じになっちゃったね。
player. Maybe
すげえきつ
stand
そ
the test of time, and for TSM and Ends, whoever wins this one out, not only is it points and good points, it's placement within the circle most importantly. Now you would expect to kind of
Uma-
play the roadside unless they want to hit a compound where all the
う。
damage
エイ
being
ムが
going off
綺麗だ
before.
エロ。
But
もう
it's
これ
Ira
もう
to
一気に
hit.
崩れ
He
るぞ。
strikes. The second player
多
of
分。
Ents will fall. This becomes a little bit more easier now. You can gather the information. You can hit the different corners now. They're looking through the door. Rustam, what can you do? Not a great deal.
はいやー。
It's the hit squad. They come in. They wipe them out.
あれ
Ents coming in today as your
あれ
first place team.
Oh, no.
イビー
Another sub
逃げたら。
position on the board.
ど
for
こ行っ
them.
たって思ったら逃げたら。
Navi just
Wait, did they just
flooded
push
the
in and knock
compound.
Liquid out?
いい判
No,
断だ。
Ibby's still alive. He just left. He had to leave.
Just
Good read from
fail.
Ibby to get out when he did.
一瞬左のチーム表見たわ。TL のランプが消えてるかどうか確かめたわ。
Let's take a look at this when we can. Bring it up on the screen. That south road that cuts it is going to be a barrier.
いやトルネードエナジー人数残してっからな。リキッドちょっとでも順位上げないときちいよね。あ
Swiftly finding example. This is a hard game now for Tornado Energy. They got locked in between Tempest, which they're doing okay against, but Omakan will want to get involved here. Tommel's gonna found Quizzy. This could be an early dip out for Tornado Energy, who've been pretty much consistently end game here, but they've been struggling a little bit in this regard in this game. Let's see what they can do in that aspect. Sitting up towards the top of things, of course, is comfortable with the likes of Ents and Northern Lights battering, each other early on in a couple of games, feeding some kills here and there. It means that they've dropped down, and obviously Ents getting an uncomfortable crash from TSM has made it even harder. Now, Unity trying to work their way around, find an avenue forward. Quizzy does find Pixel, but Tornado Energy are down to just 2 players, so late game is going to be very hard considering the position they're in, Rich.
Jimty's arrived at the party. He's usually the one that kicks down the door and sets everything ablaze. See if he can be a powerhouse and pivotal game changer for Omakan. They go up against the last 2 standing from Tornado Energy. 6 times on the M4. Both players. Excuse me, no. Alia's got the barrel in hand as well. Jemty and an M16. What freaking year is it? I suppose that's what you
しかも化粧してねえし俺。
Wookie comes in instantly into the backside of Melman as Melman opens up onto Page. So there is a knock. Tempest, time to strike. Hit the deck. Smokes up. There is a response.
別に俺化粧してね
Now
え
the
し。
question is, which way do Omakan aim themselves at? You've got Unity pushing on the backside. You've got Tempest who also might garner all the information from this and get themselves involved. There is range amongst them. AKM and Barrel. So at least they can take the 762 forward if they need to.
おそうか。いやもうトルネードエナジー全滅にすら気づかないインパクトだった。
He's moved around, but yeah, here's the push. Yeah, he's made it onto the other side of the road, but Jemty has done really well himself. Finding Wookie Bookie, great support from
おおこれおまかん上がるな。
Very well done.
リキッドもあるな。あれなんだこれリキッドこれどこいるうわなんかやってる。
Now, let's look at what's happened. So we had to leave that compound. Besto getting a little bit interested with the grenades here. He's very close by. But now the big problem for Na'Vi needs to not be Ibby. It has to be the likes of Unity, Omakan, GF, WP. So as much as Besto would love to take out Ibby here, they've got to look elsewhere. Look elsewhere. Set looks up, finds one. Good trade from Jemty. Denying Set, and that man needs to be tamed. Set has been rampant in the last couple of games. This time not the case. Tab's going to find Vasquez.
1ポイントに命をかける。
Out of the woods just yet.
I'm forced to move back. Smokes are going to be up, but the flashbang will come Jemty's way. He's a freak of an individual. Set does get the bleed out onto Page. Omakan playing from free from the start. It's rather unfortunate, but you know what? Whatever works. To the top 10, they've got some frags to be. Smokes will give away his position unless he can perfectly land this.
ワンテンポ遅れて気づきました。
Fortunately for Danaman, he's actually walked straight into it, so now his vision is completely obscured, and Jemty just stabs it. No problem, no issues whatsoever.
やべえ TSM まで120、120、121、122、123、124、125で並んでる。やばすぎない？何これ？
Actually, this is the death of him. I'm assuming. Yeah, Team Liquid going down. Rather unfortunate, but it is what it is. It's good to be able to get to that point.
Yeah. Not ideal. Speaking of not ideal, Rich. Oh, middle of a field. Never nice.
密です。
Have you noticed what TSM have done, by the way? They've actually got a 2-1-1 split across the field. They have got such a controlling anchor point from the middle compound. Well, it's not even a compound, is it? It's just the little shack type hangar warehouse thing to work off of. But what a huge anchor point towards the center of the circle than anybody else. If it does push towards red line, we've seen this scenario before, and it might be the shoe on the other.
でも TSM はちょっとこれむずいな。次8だよね。
Oh, TSM, is this going to be another?
レッドラインと TSM の一騎打ちかな。
look at these points now. For them to jump up, it ain't much, right? Like you got to think about it. For Na'Vi, okay, they'd need a good couple of.
レッドラインも出るタイミング間違わなかったらナビ全滅した後にナビが入った場所入れる可能性も若干。あ、でもナビもさすがに車あるかな。車で移動したら耐えられるね。
It's not going to be easy because Red Line can just move up to the ditch.
あーちーちーあーちー。
There's one. There's one, I guess. All right, let's see it, Navi. Show me the money. Let's see what you got because this cross is going to be the big deciding factor. Because obviously, so Ibi going down earlier in that position across the road is not as viable.
こことこの辺につけるんじゃねえかな。で、イスタンブールワイルドキャットがなすすべなく死んで、レッドラインはここの両線入って3す組かな。おまかん1位だと思うじゃん。こっから TSM がすごいんです。ここからがマグマなんです。
They can gather so much information from their position. Moved into a 2-2, which they can anchor the front part of the roadside. Try and let IW find it off against Red Line. Navi, what do you do from this one? Do you actually rotate backwards on yourselves and maybe hit the hangar, or are you looking for somewhere else within this?
全員寄せたか。やばいのでは全員寄せたら。
Line up the vehicles with a range that TSM have. Oh wait, well, never mind. As soon as I try and hop on board with the fight, IW is already dead.
アイバスやん、死んじゃった。
Marv's lingering this way. One good nade from Marv will actually seal the deal and seal the fate. No, it's there. Does it hit them? Oh, it just went to the wrong side. If there's another one follow up as well. Oh, there's the burning away. He's hit that one. Besto, you got to heal now, buddy. Otherwise, that's going to be a big GG.
車線気持ちよくなってるああ
Thank you, Fex. I don't know how he was able to get across the road.
気持ちよくなっちゃった
I feel like when you knew TSM's position was there, there's like the road kind of evens out a little, it kind of flattens out.
いやまあでもどっちにしても TSM がここを取ってる時点でレッドラインはワンチャンないかな先に埋まるの多分ナビだし
Can they isolate these remaining players? Can they find a little bit of room? They all want to take down Besto because that's a position jump. That's a second place right there. And they know he's isolated. They know he's alone.
TSM 1位格じゃね
Whoa, maybe just nade him out. That was close. Michael's got a good few. He's got just an arsenal full of this. How many nades does Michael need at this point? Bouncing off constantly. Besto.
いやアイバスいないと勝てないねレッドラインは
Somehow stays alive, but while this happens, you've got Fex, you've got Vard, Iroh, all these players kind of slowly moving south, further and further to keep tabs on this red line squad. Besto has to make his move, and he's just hoping that maybe someone else looks somewhere, someone puts some pressure towards red line or TSM or something, but now he's in the blue and he's trying to out heal it. Michael and QBE trying to outlive Besto, and they might just do it. They have. They're into second, but could they ever deal with the fight against TSM here? That I'm unsure of, Rich.
TSM's put two players on the road and Fex front and center to try and deal with this scenario at hand. With the 2 times, the 3 times, and a barrel all homing down. Fex finds one. Can he grab the second? No, he cannot. Bad comes in.
TSM!
Point game. But TSM coming off the back of a second place finish as well. This has to be feeling good. Oh man, that's going to put them straight into first position for now. You were looking across the board yesterday. I mean, don't get me wrong, they looked good. It didn't look like the explosive TSM that we know can happen. They're very methodical. They're very more. It's not necessarily patience. It's how they work things out and their communication. It can be so. They don't seem to panic when there's engagements like that go down. Especially when you look against ENCE. There's a few teams that would just. When you get in that point where it's a 4 versus 4, they panic, they crumble. It all just go tits up, and unfortunately, you then see them just dying or losing players instantly. But to be able to push up to a fight like that against your current leaderboard leaders, you know, and take it cleanly and methodically and slowly one by one, this is looking good for TSM, and that's going to be some solid points in the bag.
Yeah, starting in 6th today, that's where they came into this. They weren't within that top 3 big race, but my god, they are now. Probably going to sit pretty comfortably up there towards the top. We'll find out exactly how that's shaking things up. Northern Lights, Tornado Energy kind of battering each other. Northern Lights being swept aside by Tornado Energy, and then Omicron piling in. Lots to be seen. I want to see how this is shaking up the top. Boys, how's it looking over there?
I'll tell you something, Lauren, it's looking dink-donk decent for TSM because they got themselves a second place into a first place. Big stuff from them coming out in what, Martin, when we look at that circle, we kind of expect it to be kind of hovering around this area. It's kind of, we've seen it a lot. We've seen these kind of predictable circles near that Impala area, and TSM was able to deal with that very, very well as we take a look at the highlights here.
I really love the pull-up. I really love the whole positioning overall. But yes, as you said, it's this area is known for the endings in here. You kind of know where it goes because of the settings, because of our land ratio settings and Miramar, etc. So the teams were, I would say, equally prepared for this. Like when you see the third circle, you kind of know where everything goes, and you have to play off the knowledge that you have there. And honestly, I was surprised with some of the decisions from some of the teams that like went out early, died out early. But honestly, this is a step up. This is the performance from the. We have 3 games to go now. This is gonna be amazing for them monthly.
Yeah, definitely. Of all the teams to get themselves big points on the board, some of them between like 5th and 7th, perfect for them to just join the ranks up at the top, and then potentially TSM is going to be in first place right now. When you look at that, but Lipson there trying to hold off things, and FaZe trying to hold off Blaze here, Toby, but it was in the end a bit futile.
I mean, it was absolutely insane. The fact that we see teams commit to a fight, we see here Liquid brawling in on it as well. I mean, the fact that these guys were fighting it out, as in this is the last fight of the entire game, we gotta send everything, we gotta really commit to it. It goes to show how eager they are to beat out one another. If you see
アジア系のプレーも好きだけど、EU、NA 系はパワー系のプレー多いから見てて面白いな。こう違う味、大味。
Committing to the fight early. TSM, unfortunately for them, on the other hand, they were a little more clean in the engagement they had with ends, and you know, in all fairness, it was a little easy for them to endeavor as well. But really interesting game. I mean, we talk about Tornado Energy having a decent but tough game here.
やっぱそうめんも美味しいし、うどんも美味しいんだけど、体にくそ悪いハンバーガーめっちゃうまく感じるみたいな、なんかそういうあれ。レオ MK さん購読あるやつだ。スナイレさん購読あるやつだ。四つ葉さん購読あるやつだ。カレンさん購読あるやつだ。
TSM will get themselves 20 points, Martin. Big stuff.
Big stuff for them, and a step up as well.
また順位変わるな。ちょっと差開いたかなこれで。10ポイント弱ぐらい。7、8ポイント入ってんのかな。
Yeah, definitely. Redline doing well, as you say. Navi, actually, with the 10 points that they get, they're slowly starting to join that kind of top pack, because K-Mind is the happiest man on the planet in relative to other people visiting us here. Fake, Ardalia, and Empty. Great stuff by K-Mind to be able to put himself at the top here, Toby.
I mean, it was a great game for them, in all fairness. I mean, EP carried a lot of the weight in terms of trying to get them into placement points, but the ideas were there, the engagements were there. You can see Iron on the tower damage dealing as well.
ベストロッシュとジェンプティちょっと似てんな。面影、重ひで、面影。
Got a freebie to the late game because everyone else were brawling their way to it, and even Redline. I mean, despite you might not fighting all that much, it was a really good read to get the eyes on FaZe10, leaving that compound and going down and securing it. So smart plays across for a lot of the teams. And I mean, if you look at TSM coming into the day today, 35 points in the last 2 games. That's you couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah, definitely. And when we look at those overall standings, I imagine they're going to be rocketing towards the top, even though some of the teams above them have got
やっぱ10ポイント弱いったね。
TSM 135 points. That being said, the difference between first down towards even 6th place, it's not that much. It's one decent win, Martin. So still loads to play for.
it's still so close, honestly.
まあでも言うてまだまだ団子よ。1試合で全然エンスが1位になることもあるし。
Starting the day on 121 points.
Yeah.
Still being 121 points in 3 games.
Yeah.
That's not how you win tournament, guys.
Toby?
I mean, face
言うて
fans
団子
were
よ。
tied 2 games ago. That's just something that's insane to me. They were tied 2 games ago.
セロ
Now
リ
they're
ナさ
sitting
ん
at a
購読ありがとう
34,
ございます。
like
キングジョー
33
さん
point
購読あり
margin
がとうござい
with
ます。
just
ラン
3
ド
games
さん
left
購
to
読
play.
ありがとうござい
That's a lot to ask for in 3 games. Now we've seen it being done, and we know it's possible for face fan, especially on days like these. But that starting off with the 2 points in the first 2 games, that's got to be so damn tough.
Yeah, I think it is tough as well
あ
for
と
a team like FaZe. I don't want to harp on too much because they get a lot of airtime.
3
And that's
試
fair,
合
but in general, the entirety of Europe has leveled up their game, it feels like. Don't you think, Martin, when you look at how things have evolved from tournament to tournament, especially in this online space right now, everyone looks so damn good.
Yeah, I feel like obviously no pressure from, you know, audience directly, no pressure from you can see your opponents directly. I feel like people being able to be home in their own, you know, if you're comfortable in a bathrobe like Batulin, if you're comfortable sitting with in super cold air or very hot, like all this stuff you don't have to worry about. If you're sitting at home and you're living with parents, your mom will come with food. You don't have to worry about that either. Like everything is as you want it, and then you just have to 100% focus on the game. And I feel like that's where it's a little bit more of a living playing field compared to some of the guys that have a big ton of experience on land, where they will in that kind of area outperform the other guys because they don't have to worry about that. They're not used to mom bringing in food
顔は
or
次じゃないか
blankets
な
in your feed, all the stuff that you might not be supplied while you're at lands.
Mate, speaking from experience here, when it comes to doing broadcast from home, this is a revelation to me. I haven't done this for like 8 years, and now I come back to this in 2020. I'm like, wow, I can just go to my own fridge. This is amazing. I'm loving life.
ネキシーさん100ビッ
Toby,
トあ
any
りが
kind
とう
of
ござい
final
ま
thoughts for our last
す。
Miramar?
No, I think a tournament like
こちら
this
こ
so
そ。
far has proven that the pedestal that the PEL teams were on for a good while through
特別好きなチーム、
is slowly
そ
starting
こ
to
まで
crumble.
改まって
We're
聞
seeing
かれ
more
ると
and more
な
of
い
these
か
teams that didn't have a chance
な
to。get like a spot in the show light during the majority of last year, being able to now start fighting against the best, and I think that's just opening up for more opportunities for 2020 and 2021.
Absolutely, and let's open up here for our final game of Miramar.
リキッドがやられた時